It's Friday! Welcome to the show. I am Moradeun Balogun. As always, I have the ladies with me. Good morning. Good morning. Why you get into building? I love the color.
Thank you.
You're looking nice and bright.
Thank you.
How are you doing, YK?
I'm okay.
Any plans for the
I'm
weekend?
to be wearing bright colors this
season?
Not this season. Last week I lost a friend.
Oh.
And so that really made me sad. And then on Tuesday, my auntie died, and I was like, oh. And when I sent my daughter a text, oh, Auntie Bosse has died. She said, why is everybody dying in Nigeria? Really? You know? So I just,
really
because
sad.
in the last 2-3 weeks, my friend's brother died, my friend, a very close friend died, now my auntie, and like, oh.
Even my intern lost her dad. She lost her father a couple of days ago. So it's really, really crazy. You know, this year wants to go with a lot of people, but we will reject it.
We reject it too.
Yes, but we thank God. How are you doing though?
I'm okay. Life, we thank God for life. I'm grateful.
That's it. You see, you're influencing YK already. Fantastic. Any parties this weekend, YK?
Yes, so. You know, I didn't come on Tuesday and Wednesday. I went out.
Party, nice. So what colors are we wearing this weekend?
I only drank once. That was on Tuesday. I didn't drink yesterday.
Oh. Well done, YK. Good job. Let me come to Mariam. What's up with the t-shirt today?
I'm doing
looking
good.
All nice and gangster.
I'm wearing at Tieni, you're not showing me love. I have cornrows.
Oh,
I've got Adire pants on. I mean, I'm looking so African, and I didn't get the love from you.
I'm sorry. Oh.
Okay, now that you've wasted our time.
well done. Well, Africa.
Yeah, thank you.
Can we find out how you're doing this weekend?
Well, I don't know. I don't have anything planned, but like last weekend, I didn't have anything planned, and then I was invited for a fashion souk. That's where I got my African pants from. And then I just wanted to mention, we met Noble. You remember Noble came on our show?
Yeah.
So he was there, and he gave my kids, First Bank was also giving like free vouchers. So my kids got 20,000 naira worth of vouchers to shop at the souk.
Oh my
took pictures with them. I interviewed them for TV.
Fantastic.
So thank you. Noble is a nice guy. Yeah, of course they did. They got outfits.
Oh, that's
so
lovely.
excited.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Cool stuff. How are you doing, Obiajulu?
I'm amazing and grateful.
I'm grateful.
And it's day 6 of my gratefulness challenge, and I'm grateful for my in-laws today. I'm just picking out all the things that God has been doing for me, and I'm saying thank you one after the other. It's going to be running for the 31 days we have in December. But this weekend, my brother-in-law's daughter, her name is actually Chimamanda. We'll be taking her to church, Thanksgiving. I'm hosting for them and doing all of that. I've been carrying baby, baby doing, you know. And I'm feeling like, should I have one more? You know?
After how many years? How old is
4 years. She's 4.
I met somebody, I know somebody yesterday. She had 7 children.
Jesus.
7. You know, I was so shocked.
She's not Nigerian herself.
She's Nigerian.
How old is she?
And she's a lawyer. She's educated, everything.
Do they have money?
I don't know. Whether they still have after 7
children.
Are you for real? 7 children in this economy? In this Lagos?
No, they must have money.
She wanted to
She doesn't live in Lagos.
Yeah, well,
She lives in Lagos.
She can't live in Lagos because
She lives in Oregun Road.
7 children.
She wanted 12. So
God
she hasn't
bless
even
you,
reached
ma.
her. She has not
She
reached
had her
goal.
first 5 in her 20s. Took a break in her 30s.
Then
Started again in her 40s.
Yes,
back down.
She deserves a clap. Madam, wherever you are, we clap for you.
I'm not clapping.
Go start. I agree with you. It's not easy. But she got to give her the grace to raise them up.
Facing her other children, her girls, I want 5 at least from you. And this was say,
On your own, no.
Mrs. Falano is inviting me to speak at an event, some women's empowerment events tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll be there. And I'm happy there's no school this month of December. I'm so excited.
Yes, the kids are home.
Yeah.
Your
even for
food
me, even
will
my
be
own
finishing.
school. My own school. Oh, yeah, talking about that. Yeah. In fact, I was very foolish. I went shopping in November thinking I was done for Christmas. I bought like, lots of chicken and meat. I stocked the house.
Yeah.
I bought it in November thinking like, okay, I'm done. I said somebody, I gave her how much? Almost a lot of my salary to go and to go and do shopping.
No, it will
That's
finish.
finished.
Yes.
They just told me I got a list of almost 50 items to buy.
Ew.
Okay, what happened to the chicken? We bought like 5 big chicken. Until the time.
They be eating
who ate it? We be cooking. We ate it. 5 big broilers. The whole of December, November.
I don't even want to go there.
Oh my Lord! I have to now go and do fresh shopping.
You have household.
You have to.
It's not a big house.
No, she has
It's a massive household.
In my house, we have 10 human beings in my house. 10 human beings.
Wow.
Don't let me even start counting.
Okay, you only
This Christmas will be very small. It will just be my husband and I at home.
Where are the kids?
And we're looking forward to that.
It's our own family story.
We're spending way too much time on this. We have to run.
To host Christmas.
We have to run. All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through in fact, we'll breeze through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Let's start with The Nation. Aisha Buhari, president's aides not defending government. 2 burnt in Lagos pipeline fire. Kalu gets 12 years for corruption. Lawmakers raise budget by 260 billion naira. Shiwere regains freedom after court order. Lagos okays 250 million naira for research. Right, so Aisha Buhari took the stage yesterday on Journalist Hangar. Who has that story?
I have the story. So she was saying that the ministers and the people who have the public office are not defending the president and...
Wait, before you get, let me tell Nigerians how it happened.
All right.
So on Journalist Hangout yesterday, it happens 5 p.m. every single day on TVC. The First Lady of Nigeria called in and spoke to the journalists on the stage, talking about... Okay, Nigerian English. So our First Lady called yesterday on Journalist Hangout, and this is what she said. Go ahead.
Yes. So she first of all said that the ministers are not, people who hold public office are not defending the president and not defending the federal government of Nigeria enough. That a lot of fake news is being peddled across. And she said that there was a time they talked about the fact that the husband was our president was getting married, and people would just hear that story and laugh. They said that the vice president had resigned. Ministers would hear it and laugh, and nobody was standing up to defend the government. She also said that she did not accuse, there was a statement she made a few weeks earlier that brought about the controversy, why she even called in on the show. Yes, and she said that she wasn't blaming the governance, for the failure of the nation, basically, that she was saying that because of the neglect that they've had over the things they were supposed to do for the Nigerian citizens, that is now, the crisis we're having now is cutting across everybody. They are not safe. She's not safe herself. The ministers are not safe. The executives are not safe. The common man is not safe.
I think you pretty much covered most of what she said. So, and I think you should go online and watch the clip. It's a really, really interesting clip. It was a nice interview with her yesterday on Journalist Hangout.
She also said that she had the right to air her opinion. I like that.
Nobody can gag her. What I'm in Nigeria, I have freedom of speech. You should go and listen to that clip. Okay, want to take one more story in Nation? Let's move on, actually. The Punch, APC crisis. Buhari meets Oshomole, state chairman intervenes in Edo. Picture here, church members burnt in Lagos pipeline explosion. Ekiti Varsity sacks 600 workers over illegal appointments and others. Family friends mourn 28-year-old lady stabbed by robbers. Sacked local government bosses vow to resist Oyo caretaker chairman. 7.1 billion naira fraud, mixed reactions as court jails Kalu for 12 years. Debt servicing takes 2.7 trillion as National Assembly passes 10.6 trillion naira budget. Let's start with the church story. Go ahead.
The church members had the pastor had advised them to go and do spiritual cleansing in the stream, and they carried candles. They didn't know the pipe had burst and petrol had leaked inside the stream. Yeah. So as they just lit their candles, pastor said, "Hey!" just took off. He didn't call.
Were you there?
This is the story I read now.
You are dramatizing as if you're there.
Because they said the pastor saw it, took off, but didn't call his people. That fire, they come home. Those ones now, because maybe they were backing it. He was facing.
Hey, YK, Nollywood. You want to watch Hollywood? Some people died here, actually.
Yeah.
So let us not laugh about
sad.
this.
So
I'm not laughing. You are the ones.
Lasema and the police are saying that the cause of the fire is vandalism, that residents in that area, people are aware that people come and break the NNPC pipeline. And a pastor was also arrested, and one other suspect, Smart Adeyemi. The reason they were arrested was they said the fire started around the church premises. And when they asked the pastor if he was aware of, the sort of activities that take place, he said no, he wasn't. So they checked his premises, they found kegs and kegs of stolen petrol, and so they arrested him. The Smart Adeyemi said he came with 9 other people, 10 of them, to actually come to siphon petrol in that area. They are based in Bayelsa State, and they came all the way to siphon petrol.
And he said 9 of the people he came with, he can't find them.
Yeah.
So that maybe when the fire goes down, he will see them. But he's the only survivor, the only person they can find
at that time.
Because there were 10 of them.
Yeah.
But let's pick another story.
But we haven't, the police are saying the residents should be warning them when people are
When they suspect,
because that is because they don't know.
Right.
Yeah, so the
Really
people
important.
should be aware.
Keep
Keep their eyes open.
Yeah. Okay, the varsity.
Yes, so the University of Ado-Ekiti carried out an audit report by some external auditors, and they found that they had about 600 irregular staff members. So some of their names were not on the nominal list, but it was on the payroll. A lot of them did not have their proper qualifications. Some of them falsified their ages, and so they have been sacked. And the school, the vice chancellor, is saying that this will actually save them about 200 million naira, saying that they've been struggling to actually pay the salaries of those irregular staff. So because they had to get, they have a lot of a contributory cooperation, thrift society. So they borrow money from those societies to pay the salaries of these irregular staff and ghost workers. So this is more like a cleansing.
Doing now, because my sisters at her work too, that's what they're doing right now. They're auditing everyone, and they've also found ghost workers and people who are not meant to be.
Let's move on to Vanguard. Ex-Abia Governor Senator Orji Uzokalo jailed 12 years for money laundering. Penalized governors diverting education funds, article tells National Assembly. Senate to IGP, halt extortion, reduce checkpoints on highways. Senate adds 264 billion naira passes over 10 trillion naira budget 2020. The DSS releases Showore and Bakare. Border drill, boost for rice production, self-sufficiency, state federal government. And NNPC pipeline explosion, 1 dead, scores injured in Lagos. Let's start with the Abia State Governor, Orji Uzokalo, was sentenced 12 years yesterday.
Yes.
The story came. Yeah,
Orji Uzokalo is a very well-known name, also the senator and the chief whip. Yes, of this 9th Assembly. So 12 years. It's been since 2007 that the EFCC had taken them to court over the diversion of over 7 billion naira from the coffers of Abia State Treasury. And finally, yesterday, he's been given 12 years. Many counts, so he's running concurrently. And he's also been, and there's also his company, SLOC, Nigeria Limited, and also Ude Odeogu, who is the Director of Finance of the accounts of Abia State government at the time. Yes, at the time that Uzokalo was governor.
Can I ask?
And also, they also said that. I lost my train of thought when you said that. But another thing, a lot of people have reacted to this. Okay. And PDP has said that this case started during when PDP was actually in power. That Buhari cannot take credit for this case because
since 2007,
it's been actually been investigated since that period.
Who cares?
They're responding. I'm telling you what the people said. So they're responding saying that they can't take credit for this, but Serap has actually also hailed this, and people have speculated that it was because of this case that he dumped BDP and went to APC, hoping for protection. Unfortunately, APC was unable to protect him.
Well, he's appealed.
I need to ask this question, please. The position he holds in the Senate, who will now take it?
They might have to find somebody.
He will appeal now.
I don't know. He will still be cooling. He'll still be cooling in the prison while the appeal is going. So Anaso doesn't have that
to come out while if he had been there since 2007, when he would have finished his sentence
by now.
So let's move on. Let's pick another story. Showore has been released. What's that story? We're happy finally.
Yes.
We're not clapping for DSS, so we are clapping for Showore for his freedom.
But DSS was billed for 100,000 naira for.
When 24-hour ultimatum was given to them by the Federal High Court also half-naked women from Showere's area had stormed the court as well to protest his continuous detention. And so he was released, and we're happy that he's been released.
I watched the interview where the DSS public relations guy was saying, we are law-abiding, we have released him, and then...
After what? After how many weeks?
126
I wanted to ask that
After
question.
how many weeks?
The people that were interviewing him, I'm wondering why they didn't ask him the question.
Law-abiding my foot. Moving on to Nigerian Tribune. Aftermath judges ultimated DSS releases Showore, we just mentioned that. Court orders DSS to transfer El Zakzaki, wife to Kaduna Correctional Center. Illegal pension, I'm determined to comply with court order, says Malami. Oshomole absent as Buhari APC governors meet in Aso Rock. Adenuga Adebutu and others receive Tribune Platinum Awards. I'm seeing all the pictures here of the awards, and I mean, I have no objections to many of them. But why is Governor Seyi Makinde getting a platinum award? Is it because he's governor? I mean, he has not even started working. The guy just came in a few months ago. I mean, they should let him. I don't know if they are giving him a platinum award because he's just governor or because of what he's done privately in the past.
Or maybe
on
what
what
he's done
basis?
so far probably was because he's quite in the news.
Oyo State, actually.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like,
You know, he's quite popular for doing so much.
Switch so much. We have seen a lot of
to
noise.
be doing a lot
Yes.
in a little
short time.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of noise from
Yeah.
Oyo, but I don't know why he's getting a platinum
You know, I think
award.
we shouldn't make the mistake of, you see, we have to hold our leaders to,
Yes, accountable.
they have to hold them accountable, because when we start to hail them, they will sit back.
Yes, I
let
think-
them do their work.
Yes.
When they have done their work, which
we have
they are
elected
supposed
them
to
to
do
do.
anyway, because they are public servants,
Yeah.
then you can say, oh, at least he tried. Don't need to be hailing him. Let him do his work.
Like Mike Adenuga, some yes, Kasinti Adebutu, you can see some that yes, we know they've done
They've
work.
been there for a while.
But this young man just became governor. Okay, let's pick another story. Who has the El Zakzaki story?
Yes,
Go ahead.
so the High Court has ordered that DSS release El Zakzaki to the Nigerian Correctional Center in Kaduna to allow his lawyers for easy access to him. It was appealed. It was presented by his lawyer, Femi Falana, and they are saying that they've been. It's always a struggle when they're about to go on trial because they don't have access to him. So now that they have appealed, that they've ordered them to move them, it will be easier for them. So the trial is still ongoing. It will continue again next year, I think sometime in February.
Let me just read the other papers because we've taken all the stories. Fraud, Carlo Joyce Dariye Nyame in prison. Same fate awaits other looters, says presidency. National Assembly hiked on their own allocation, passes 2020 budget. Stock market loses 12 billion naira. 2 die, many injured at NNPC pipeline exposed in Lagos. And final paper is The Guardian. Mixed reactions as court jails Orji Uzokalo 12 years. And picture here of human rights activist Omoyele Sowore after his release by DSS. I think that's pretty much all the major stories we have today. We have to go on a break now. When we come back, we obviously skipped the story of Moradeun Balogun in the Punch because we're going to be watching a clip. Yesterday was her candlelight remembrance event, and we spoke to a few members of her family. And we're also going to be speaking to somebody, the doctor of the hospital she allegedly went to, where she was denied access, allegedly denied access because of police report. We'll speak to the doctor in a few moments. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So on Wednesday, we broke the story of a lady who was stabbed by armed robbers. This has really generated a lot of controversies because report has it that the hospital she was taken to rejected her because she cannot produce a police report. However, the hospital has since refuted this statement. We had the doctor on the phone to say his own side of the story, but unfortunately, we're having trouble getting him now. But before we hopefully get in touch with the doctor, our correspondent was at a candlelight procession yesterday. Please watch this.
The community of believers in Nigeria and across the world, in this moment, let a praise arise for He is good. He's a good God. He's a kind God. He's a believable, dependable, sure God. He's the head of the host. He's the captain of the army. He's gone ahead of us with a shout. We still want anyway that our voice will not be silent. This is such a precious moment. Make sure your voice is not silent. The Almighty, the indefatigable, the unstoppable, the indestructible. Beat him fair, lele. For our souls, we will be joined again to you in eternal worship. So we thank you. We honor you, Lord. Sing to rejoice. You've given us a reason.
For the hospital R-Jolad, and again, R-Jolad is seeing this as a personal vendetta against them. This is not a personal vendetta against them. For the health profession, we believe that the best that you can do is to at least do something. At least do something. It shouldn't take you many minutes, how many minutes to come down to attend to her. And for the painful part is you didn't even allow her inside the hospital. So how then did you check the case? Is it in the car that you checked the case? It was getting dark. Was it torchlights that you used to check the wound? How did you check the wound? So those are the things, that's the pain that we have right now, and we need the government to step in, and not just the government to step in to punish R-Jolad alone. We also want the government to put appropriate structures in place. Let there be street lights in that place. Let there be a police officer or a police van or a police vehicle in that place, and let us change these policies that the hospital system in Nigeria can be held accountable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So?
My name is Tommy Wale. Yeah, Wale is the surname.
Okay. And
Yes. I'm Moradeun's friend. Been friends since February 2008 because we resumed school together in OAU.
So how does this, looking at all of this that happened, how do you feel?
So I'm actually very scared
Why?
because so I'm an entrepreneur. I know what it takes to be an entrepreneur in this country. I know what it takes to go to work in this country and get back, especially in Lagos. I know the stress. I know the demands at work. I know demands on your money. I know all of those things. Trying to at least make a living for yourself. And then just because of some people's, what's the word? Is it nonchalant attitude, or is it negligence, or is it a sign of not having accountability? Then you're just no more. It's scary for me. You know, I had to call. I have a couple of people who talk to me and things like that. They've been wondering why I've been calling them these days. Just, are you home now? Are you fine? We shouldn't be having that kind of a thing in Nigeria at this time. We shouldn't be having that kind of a thing in Lagos. There are so many hardworking people out there who are trying to, you know, get the work done, get their lives going. And then, see, I know Moradeun, right? I've told myself I'm not going to put any of her picture and say something like that, because I just want to remember her in present tense. I don't want to believe that she's just dead like that. Moradeun is hardworking. Moradeun she's a people person, right? Put Moradeun in charge of something. She will see to it that by the time you come back around that thing has changed from the level it was to another level. Now she was going to work. I got the call on Tuesday morning from her best friend, right? And I was about to have I just got the call, and then she just told me that Moradeun is dead. What happened? She was stabbed. She was asking for help. Hospital said they weren't going to take her in. Something about a police report. Something about no ambulance. Something about a yellow taxi from a hospital. And I checked this. I said, this is supposed to be a reputable hospital. What's going on? So I was like, if someone like this is not about, I don't even know, is it about you? Okay, we're educated, right? So we're educated, we're supposed to have a good life. So in fact, we're educated now, are you even sure of having a good life? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sad indeed. There are different versions out there. The version that they asked for a police report is out there, and that's what's trending. That's what everybody's talking about. Mm-hmm. But I was privileged to speak to the doctor yesterday, and in fact 2 days ago, and we agreed that he'll be on the phone today. For whatever reason, his numbers are not going through. Maybe people are advising him not to speak to us. I'm not sure, but we can't reach him anymore. But I did speak to him, and he's just as sad as everybody is about what happened. I don't want to speak for him, but because it's difficult to get him right now, I'll try to reiterate what he said. And what he tried to explain to me was that there was no point where he denied access to that young girl because there was no police report, that he knows is illegal. And that was totally incorrect from his own version. According to him also, at the point the young lady was brought to his hospital, they had already removed the knife, or I think he was even suggesting it could have been a screwdriver because the hole was piercing. So I wasn't really sure it was a knife. They removed the object from her, and when you do that, it has internal bleeding, and then the vessels begin to spill blood, and in that situation, you lose a lot of blood. So at the moment the girl was born, that had happened already, and he knew there was nothing he didn't have enough tools at that moment, at that time, to handle that. The only hospital that had the ability to help that girl was the teaching hospital, and the closest one was the general hospital close by. And that was what they did. So according to him, he had examined her initially and saw what he could and realized that they didn't have the apparatus to help her to administer first aid at the time. But there are different angles to this. So he was trying to say vehemently that he never at any point said they needed to provide a police report. That was not true, according to him. But it would be really nice to hear from him directly, because I wanted him to speak to our viewers, because people are really emotional about this, and you can understand why. This is a young lady who, upwardly mobile, young girl, she has a fiance, so everybody's hurt by this death of this young lady, but at the same time, it's always good to hear the various versions. So the eyewitness version, the doctor's version, and public family's version. So we've heard from family and friends, we've heard the eyewitness, and it's been a great idea to hear from R-Jolad, because it is a reputable hospital, and we at the same time, they need to take responsibility for this. They also need to, and if they also need to, we need to declare if indeed there was not issue of police report, it would be unfair to continue to peddle that news that they ask for a police report if that indeed did not happen. So that was why it was important for us to discuss. But I'll let you lay your thoughts on this generally before we just move on to other topics.
My own is very simple. Why has the government not removed that asking for police reports?
They have.
So that's why it was illegal.
That's why, because everybody, even though he knows it's against the law. So we mentioned it on Wednesday, that it's been expunged. Even the police have said it repeatedly, that you should, under no circumstance should anybody be asking for a police report for any injury or wound of a victim. It's really sad. Mary, want to say anything?
It's really sad, and here we are today. But so now for those of us who are alive, what is the next step forward? What does the government need to do? And we can't keep coming here to give, at funerals, I'm making big statements. We need to put things on ground. Ambulances should be available to people. Nigerians also, we need to do something. We need to learn first aid. So a lot of us, when we watch TV, we see it. Sometimes when you have those kind of stab wounds, you're told not to touch it. Just wrap a cloth or something about it and put some pressure and then take the person to the hospital. So citizens as well, we have a duty to learn this sort of thing so we're able to help each other, better help each other. And then the hospitals too need to learn. if the hospital didn't have an ambulance, did the doctor himself have a car that he could have driven her to the hospital in, just humanity. We need to be kind to each other. We need to.
And we also have to remind ourselves that it was the armed robbers stabbed this girl. You see, we keep forgetting. It's easy to always point a finger. Oh, it's a doctor. Oh, it's a hospital. But the police have a job to do.
Yes,
somebody stabbed that girl, and that's the person that should be pointed at as a murderer here.
I agree. Sorry, Obiajulu. But if this law has been expunged, like you say, why do we not know properly? Why is it not? Because I know of somebody recently who got shot, who they asked for a police report. So they are still asking for this police report. So let them enlighten the public now, so that we know. So if you ask for police report, yes, we know that the armed robbers are accountable. If you find them, we know. But from that point, there are other factors that led to the girl's death.
Right.
Armed robbers, we know that they are murderers. Yes, we are leave that level. But from after that point, where the girl could have been saved.
Let me come to you, Virgil.
It's just, I just feel that we as, human beings should do more for ourselves. You know, when you see certain things happen, it's not just to wait till after it's happened, then everybody's coming out to talk. We should ensure that we are security conscious. You know, when that incident was happening, I don't know how it happened with the stabbing and all of that, but there were definitely people who were around, you know, so we just need to put ourselves in a position where we have to do more for one another, basically.
Okay, I'm being told now that we've been able to reach the medical director of R-Jolad, Dr. Oladipo. Good morning, sir. Are you on the phone?
Yes, I'm on the phone.
Good to have you on the show. Right, so you just watched the clip concerning Moradeun's candlelight procession, and obviously this is a sad day for lots of Nigerians, a lot of young people. I would like to give you a few minutes, sir, to tell us exactly your own version of what happened that night.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Funsho Oladipo. I'm the Chief Medical Director of R-Jolad Hospital that is in Gbagada. May I seize this opportunity to express my sincere condolences to the family of Moradeun Balogun. It's such a very tragic loss, very unfortunate. Moradeun was brought to our facility at about 7:19 p.m. on Monday, the 2nd of December 2019. She was a victim of armed robbery with a fatal penetrating stab wound to the root of the neck. One who is not medically, or who is not a medical person, would not understand why the seeming non-extensive injury like this could not be managed by our setup. However, I want to make it known to everyone that it was a fatal injury because of the major blood vessels beneath the root of the neck. She was attended to by the doctor on duty who sought the attention of another colleague because there was a need to make an urgent, critical decision. The ultimate decision was for her to be referred to tertiary institution for the following reasons. She had lost a lot of blood because at the time when she was stabbed, between the time she was stabbed and the time we received her in the hospital, that time interval could not be ascertained. The second reason, she needed to have her veins assessed. And it's not the simple intravenous line we see people take. We have what we call central intravenous line that needed to be instituted. This is done by experts, and sometimes it might take some time. The third reason was she needed massive blood transfusion because she had lost quite a lot of blood because she was bleeding internally. And the fourth thing was that she needed urgent surgical intervention by vascular surgeon, cardiothoracic surgeon, and some other interventions. And at the end of it, she would need an intensive care unit. We said there was no first aid that we could render outside of this because it should be noted. She was not bleeding actively from the entry point of that injury. At this point, it was very expedient that we should move her as quickly as possible to Gbagada, which is the nearest tertiary institution. At the time, our ambulance was out working. We had to make arrangements with a car in a carpool to take her down to Gbagada General Hospital, which we did. At no time, any of our staff demanded for police report before attending to Moradeun. This is a tragic loss. It's unfortunate. But the nature of the injury is very fatal. Very few people survive this. In cases of accident, when there's a scar in the root, at the root of the neck, or someone's neck, and the object that is used in that, or the object that causes the accident, still stays
We're having trouble
He
hearing you very
is not
clearly.
removed.
It's breaking up, doctor.
Yes.
I'm really having trouble hearing everything you said so far. I'll tell the producers to cut the line off and try to call you back again, and we'll continue this conversation. But whilst we're trying to do that, let me get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so hearing from him, this was not the way we first heard it, which is he was brought to them and they just sent her off. So they had looked at her and they had arranged for her to be taken to the general hospital. So they were involved in getting the cab that was supposedly that took her to the general hospital. So for me, already, the hospital doesn't seem like it was just inefficient and cold towards this person. So they did their part. But I think the next question will be, first of all, we don't want to castigate this hospital since they did what they were meant to do. But the next question would be, was that truly the best way to have handled it? There was really nothing that they could have done for her at that point. I mean, he saw the extent of the wounds. Was he certain, or did they know that moving her from their hospital to that place would have helped her at the time? Or she would have died on her way there,
So I think for us to determine that, Mariam, I think we might bring in another medical expert
to give us
who listened to what he said to confirm indeed if there was absolutely nothing else that could have been done. Yes, go ahead.
But for me, it's also your word against my word. So the doctor is giving an account of what he thinks happened, and people who were supposedly eyewitnesses are saying that this is like exactly what happened. So who do we believe in this case? Because even if they had done wrong or they have even requested for the police report, the doctor won't come out here to say exactly that because he needs to protect his organization. So I think the whole thing is what has happened has happened. What's the way forward? What can we do as a people? What can we do as a government to ensure that these hospitals have the equipment that they need for cases like this? Because even if they have ambulance and they now tell you there's no fee, what will happen?
Even before we even get to that, with the security, that means this happened at 7 or before 7 because she didn't get to the hospital till 7. So it was dusk. It wasn't night. It wasn't 10 o'clock at night. She was coming home from work. That means there is no security. That means that all our lives are in danger.
Exactly.
So what are we going to do about security
that's the real
for
issue,
citizens?
Right.
And one thing, a lot of
our lives are in danger.
Yeah. Another thing that just came to mind is that we hear of our leaders traveling abroad. It's so easy to travel abroad and just take yourself away from what is happening here. But the sad thing is that someday it could be your own child. Look at the statement one of our friends said. He said, you're meant to be educated, and education is meant to change your lives and sort of give you a little leverage than those who have not been educated. And you feel that, okay, because I'm in a certain position in Nigeria, I have enough money to travel abroad, so I would not concern myself with these things. You don't know. Your children will be hanging out somewhere and find themselves in an emergency situation. But because monies have been stolen from the coffers of our country, monies that would have gone into giving us a proper, efficient health system, and then you'll be caught in this.
Okay, please. We have to go on a break. Let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. I will try to get in touch with the doctor, and I think 1 or 2 other family members are still waiting to have a conversation with us on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So still on Moradeun's story, I think we have a friend of Moradeun who would like to say 1 or 2 things concerning this matter. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
I am.
Thanks for calling in. Go ahead, please. Please introduce yourself again to us. Let's know who you are.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is R-Jolad Okudwa.
Okay.
And I'm Moradeun's friend.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So first and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for picking up this conversation. And also the doctor who was called in. The first thing is we have two eyewitnesses who was around at the time all this happened. And these two people were the ones who brought Moradeun to the hospital.
Okay. I
would like to also note that I am so sure that the CMD who is speaking right now was probably not there at the time this happened. And I'll narrate to you based on our conversation that we have, because we have two recordings of voice conversations with the two eyewitnesses that took her to the hospital. And this was what happened. She was stabbed. She was crying out for help. They saw her. And at the time they saw her, a man was coming with his colleague from work, and he stopped by to pick her up with another person, and there were three that took her to the hospital. At the time they got to the hospital, this was about 7:17 thereabouts. They brought her, the first guy ran inside and started screaming, help, 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 calling the people in the hospital to come out, the doctors to come out, to come and attend to her. We would like to note that the doctors did not take Moradeun into the hospital. So my question is, how did they then check the condition of that she had? She wasn't allowed to enter into the hospital. It was dark. Was it torchlight that you used to check the condition? That's one question that we need to ask ourselves. Was it torchlight that we used to find out? When the guy got in there, she still had strength. She was still crying for help. She was still shouting, please help me, please help me. She still had enough strength to even give the man, the people who helped her, the number of her father and her mother. Please call my father, please call my fiancé. And she was screaming out for help. We have this account, we have this recording from these people, and they even they themselves cannot even imagine that this has happened to this girl. After they screamed for help, the hospital doctors whatsoever came outside, and when they came outside after many shouting and all that, looked at her and said that they can't do anything, they should take her to General Hospital. And they said, can you just do something? Just put first aid or just do something. And they said there's nothing they can do. The question is, did they even bring her inside to check what they can do? That's fine. Now, they said, okay, can we use your ambulance and take her to the hospital? And they said no, that they don't have their ambulance around. These two eyewitnesses were the ones who went to get a yellow taxi as against, because on premium times, the hospital came out to say that they used their ambulance. I'm sorry, not ambulance. The body, the Moradeun was abandoned by the people who brought her, and they used the cab of the hospital to take her down to General Hospital, which is totally against what the eyewitness said. They were the ones who took her down. And I'm sure that the doctors of the people in the General Hospital who received that can bear witness with that was the eyewitness. It was even the eyewitness that met with the father and the mother, and the father and the boyfriend by the time they got to the hospital. They did absolutely nothing. As at the time she was in the hospital, from 7:17 as which she got to R-Jolad, she gave up the ghost around past to 8. So she still had close to about 40 minutes for something to have been done. Now, my question is R-Jolad a medical, is R-Jolad a specialist hospital? If they can't do anything, I'm sure they have huge collaborations with the General Hospital, because I know that they'll probably work together, together from time to time. So why was nothing done in that regards to help?
All right, thank you very much for your views, and thank you for your thoughts on this. It's always good to get different sides of the same story. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear our viewers' thoughts. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right, so we've heard from the doctor, we've heard from family, and we've read the reports that's gone online, and there are different versions. Let me hear your thoughts on it. We'll take some tweets. Do we take the tweets first?
Okay, let me quickly say, it's just something I noticed that I haven't really heard the police coming out to say, okay, this is what we're doing right now. Investigations are ongoing. We're going to get the culprit. We haven't heard anything. It's as if everybody is just silent, probably because she's not a high-profile person in the society. I would expect the police to be out there right now trying to, carry out investigations and find this culprit. The person has taken a life. He should be punished. So I expect, the armed robber who did that.
It's easier sometimes. We can change the focus to, the hospital, the doctor. But the real focus really should be that person that stabbed. Yes, the hospital, the doctors have their own responsibilities. But at the same time, we need to ensure that the police do their job to bring these people to book. Let's take a few tweets.
Damola says, This is one of the things we need our lawmakers to do. They need to pass a bill to bring an end to hospitals asking for police reports before treating gunshot or stab victims. This is just a way of wasting people's lives unnecessarily. Honorable R-Jolad says, to avoid a reoccurrence of this sad event, I think it's time to implement community policing in every local government area so we can protect our citizens.
I thought that's why I have it, LNSC, or we have a lot of them now.
Yeah.
It's just...
Those in government should be more proactive and not think because they get protection, others don't need it.
Tolu Wani says, I think it's unfortunate the hospital got mixed up in all of this. Somehow they have to pay for the wrong done by someone else which they couldn't fix. Nobody's talking about how inhumane it is to stab someone in the first place. My heart goes out to the family.
Let me take this call from Yakub, then I'll come to you, Mariam. Yakub, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning, Mario.
Good morning.
And good morning to the coach in the
Yakub, let me pause you for a second. Yakub, we're not playing judge and jury in this case. We're just hearing views. Yeah. I don't want you judging anybody or judging each case, all right? Go ahead.
Mario, I really understand you. But first and foremost, my sympathy and condolences go to the family of that lady. And then I want to use this opportunity to ask God Almighty Allah. Today is a Friday. It's a great day that one mentioned in our Quran. That God is to use His power to make sure that this armed robber that stabbed this very particular lady in enough time to be caught and then arrested by the police, so that we'll be very happy that finally we arrested the people that stabbed this lady.
Yeah.
Having said that, Morayo, I can tell you, if 2 or 3 or 4 people call to this program this morning, I will tell you that out of the four, 3 will have same experience. I will use this opportunity and then I will not take your time to tell you there was a time a bus knocked a lady down in front of my office. And then this guy that knocked this very little girl down is already drunk. Not this very little girl down. He's already drunk. And then everybody is now looking at this young lady at age of 10 years there. And then I rushed to that place. I found out that nobody knows what they do. I have my clothes publicly. I could not believe I did that. I took off my inner wear, brought this very particular little lady. I take my car. I go anyway straight to the hospital. I don't want to mention the hospital. It's one of the biggest hospitals in Gbagada. If I mention, everybody will know that hospital. It's one bigger hospital in Gbagada. Getting to that place, Morayo could not believe what I saw. And then this lady in particular, they were twins. They want to cross the road. One crossed, and then the other was shouting, "Come, no, motor is coming," but he did not hear. And then getting to that hospital, Morayo, they were asking me that I should go and bring police report. I said, for what? Police report. First and foremost, I said to this little girl.
Exactly.
They said to the car, I said, do you know what I did? I began to go straight in that hospital. I got the hospital management. One of the doctors, I told him, I began to fight everybody there until they attended to that lady. And then when they attended to that lady, and then I made sure that I wait there until that very particular little lady gets well. And then do you know today, I'm very, very happy, Morayo. Why? Why? Because these two things, both of them, they were in UI today, University of Ibadan. And then anytime they come around, they will come and greet me in my office. God will bless you. That is my happiness. So, Morayo, the doctor that was telling you story earlier, you were saying we should not castigate them. I don't believe it. Look at the second person called to the studio. Morayo, you need to make sure.
Oh, we lost that call. Let's take a few more tweets.
Raymond says the primary...
But thank you very much, Yakub, for your point of view. It's important to acknowledge that, yes.
I think
this is a Nigerian story.
It's a Nigerian story. I think it's also important that we are enlightened about this police report.
Yes.
They need to stop it. They need to stop it. The hospitals know why they do it. And they know maybe they have been held culpable for on many occasions.
Yes.
So if the police have said that there is no need for police report, let them let us know. Let them let us know properly. Don't just say, there is not in the law. It is, everybody thinks it is in the law. I know someone recently, and when I say recently, less than a month. Do you understand?
I was on this table when the police, the IGP actually mentioned it. So we discussed it on the front pages. And then we talked about it that, oh, fantastic, now we don't have to demand the police report. So I'm surprised that, but maybe I would like to believe that many hospitals actually received a circular from the police saying that this has been removed, but we'll have to investigate and be
say
sure.
that they give them a circular.
We have to investigate and be sure.
There's one thing to be on TV and say it, and then there's another thing to make sure that it's implemented. And also, whether the police likes it or not, many people do not trust the police because it happens for even the tiniest things. They'll say no tinted permit if you come with factory settings, and the policeman will stop you and say, I don't care what you heard. I am asking you for it. Yes. So maybe what the police should do is print something out boldly and put it on the walls of the hospital. The police has given you the da-da-da-da-da. So that when another random police officer comes and says, well, I don't care what you think you heard, you can now point to that thing that your commissioner has signed. Because really, we have that problem where the law would be given, but what is implemented in real life is not what has been
But we have to also acknowledge that this is also beyond this issue of police report. It's about hospitals being equipped to be able to handle all types of cases. Yes. And that's the problem we have here.
Right.
We're talking during the break that our president's son was in a motorbike accident, and was flown to Germany. Yeah. Why did they fly him to Germany? Because we didn't have the ability or the capacity to treat that kind of an accident at the time.
For me, it's also about citizens being able to put their foot down and say, this is my right, I will have it. So now that people are becoming aware that the police has claimed to give a circular to the hospitals, when I go to the hospital with somebody, I will insist, I will make noise, I will shout, I will do a video. If you people don't take care of this child, if you are asking me for a police report or whatever it is you are asking for, I will make sure that the world sees what you people are doing. When we stand on our rights, they will have no choice than to, do what is expected.
I'm being told now that we have the doctor back on the phone. Dr. Oladipo, I'm sure you've been watching and you've heard from Moradeun's friend, and the allegations are in a few folds. First, the issue of the police report, and I'd like you to help us, because according to Moradeun's friend, Olushola stated clearly that you may not have been around when it happened, that there was a particular doctor that received them and didn't even allow Moradeun into the hospital. So we want to be sure that were you there, or are you speaking from a report given to you by another doctor? It's important we get these things clear. Go ahead, sir.
There is a policy, a protocol at the hospital.
Yes.
If we have an emergency case, we assess right on the spot. It's just like triage. And when we assess and say, oh, this case we can manage by the grace of God, immediately we start work on that. But when it was triage, it is the unfortunate thing that a piercing wound, a penetrating wound at the root of the neck. Outsiders, the untrained eye will just see like this guy needs what we call first aid. But I just said those 5 needs that Moradeun needed at that point in time. He needed to have the veins assessed, and not ordinary line. They have to use what we call central intravenous line, which takes an expert to do and takes some time sometimes. And she needed massive, instantly from the examination in the vehicle, they could assess she had lost blood. The fellow was saying she was still screaming at that point. It is not true. The GCS, that is what we call Glasgow Coma score, was just about 5 at the time she came in. These are the things we see instantly, and we're able to make critical decisions. So she needed IV line, the central IV line, she needed massive blood transfusion, she needed intervention by vascular to vascular or other intervention. She needed an ICU. Taking her into the hospital will cause more damage to her. Sir. And the fellow said, we said we didn't have an ambulance. That's not true. The ambulance was not available. It is the car port. The car port is right beside the gate of the hospital.
All right.
But whether it called...
Let me try to get a question in for you, sir. 1 minute. Go ahead.
Sir, but I've not heard you answer the question Morayo posed. If you were there in person or you received the report, so you're talking based on what was reported to you, or you witnessed the way it happened. And because that will give us a better understanding.
I have to collate, I have to call. When we have crisis, I have to call everybody involved. And everybody has to give a report of this.
Okay, so you weren't there.
And the second question.
Based on what is our protocol, and I mean, the person, you won't be talking to the doctor individual, because if you have to, you may have to talk to several people, the security man, the nurse, the doctors, and the people around. But I have to report what happened based on investigation and based on the reports given by the people involved.
The second question I have for you is, couldn't your hospital have done some first aid?
This is what I'm saying. There's no foresee the point of entry where the object penetrated the root of the neck. It's a small point, and nothing. She wasn't bleeding actively from that point. And the first aid you have to give is to replace blood loss and to open up, because the object had already cut through many blood vessels.
All right, Dr. Oladipo, let me ask you this question from a medical perspective, because I'm getting the doctor sending me some messages. Let me ask you this question. They said that in this kind of situation that you have described, that if you had applied some pressure to stop the bleeding, applying occlusive dressing, and wearing a neck brace to immobilize the spine could have been a first aid that Moradeun would have had before taking her to General Hospital. Is that correct?
With respect to that doctor's question, I think it is what is said does not really apply to this case in our hand at that time. It was a piercing. It wasn't a
I can't hear you. It's so difficult to hear you, so I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Maybe you can stay somewhere because we really need to hear what you're saying.
Okay. Let me do this. The questions raised by the doctor. Are you hearing me now?
We're trying here. Go ahead.
Okay. Those questions do not apply to Moradeun's case.
You know what? We have to call you back, sir. I'm just having such trouble reaching you. I can't. We need our viewers to hear what you're saying properly so we are clear. I'm going to get the producers to call you again, hopefully with another number, so we can speak to you. Yes, go ahead.
I wanted to say something here, because we are missing this. The people who actually took her to the hospital, I think we need to give them a big kudos, because we have even become a nation where when we see things, say, Abia is armed robber, we'll just drive off. They actually stopped to help this girl. They helped her, and they didn't care, well, my car is getting stained. Yeah. They took her to the hospital. They must be so broken-hearted that she died.
Yes, good Samaritans.
Let me go on a quick break. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, hopefully we'll get the doctor's comments again. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we still have our doctor. Dr. Oladipo, are you still there?
Yeah.
Thanks for staying with us. So we still have our doctor. Dr. Oladipo, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So the question I asked before the break, for those who did not get that question, our doctor was sending me a message saying that in that situation that you described, where there was an injury to the neck, that we could have actually had a pressure to stop the bleeding, applied occlusive dressing, and wear a neck brace to immobilize the spine before taking her to General Hospital. Is that correct? Could that have been done?
With due respect to the doctor who said it, I want to affirm that at the time Moradeun came to the hospital and examined, all this that the doctor said would not apply. This is a deep penetrating injury. You don't put pressure on the superficial. How about the major vessels that have been severed internally, and the bleeding is internal? And it wasn't as if Moradeun was knocked with a blunt object on the neck. So the question of a spinal cord injury wouldn't come in there. The penetrating wound, superficially, it caused little or not much injury. But the major injury is severing the major blood vessels beneath the root of the neck, like the carotid.
Okay. Let me put you on hold for a quick second. I have a few tweets for you. Go ahead, Mikey.
For him? Oh, no,
Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions for him?
These are... Yeah, do you have questions?
No, I have a tweet quickly. Queen of Talk says, is there a CCTV in the hospital premises? Probably people want to watch the clip and see how that works.
Investigation.
Investigation, yes. So this is so sad, and there are many to blame. First, the street lights. Secondly, our police officers are not posted strategically to maximize time. Then the hospital.
Okay, give that tweet you're talking about.
Okay, it says, Miss Moradeun's situation is a sad story, but I tell you this, robbers/hoodlums attack is very rampant in that area. We have complained to the authorities several times, but they seem not to listen. The police operatives in that area have been compromised. Okay. And this is really sad. I want to call the attention of police issues like this because I experienced something like this that got me marveled. Something in June. I went to Banana Island for inspection of property with a prospective client. We were returning, my car ran out of fuel just before Ilubirin Estate, and some guys came out from nowhere and demanded for money, threatened to stop us if we don't give them money. Okay. And police patrol vehicles were parked at the junction coming from Ikoyi.
So these are security
expect
issues.
more from our police.
So I think we'll have a different show for the security issues we have. But thank you, Dr. Oladipo. Is there any other information you'd like to give us before we knock you out?
Yes, essentially I sympathize with the family, and it's very unfortunate. But this type of injury, the nation has to provide more trauma centers. The ones we have aren't just enough. A case like Moradeun will have been moved straight to Ibobi, where they have a trauma center, or Lut, where there's a trauma center. Whereby all these people I've mentioned, the interventionists will come in, and at least life will be saved. I believe this will help the nation.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Oladipo. I have to let him go, unfortunately, YK. Thank you so much. All right, so you're going to say something, YK?
Yeah, I was going to say, he said they should go to a trauma center, but they felt that's the nearest hospital. Yeah. They saw she was losing blood.
A bit.
So, are you saying your hospital cannot even treat first aid?
Most hospitals are not trauma centers. We don't have that capacity. Yeah. Many hospitals in Nigeria.
You know, that brings to mind. So when we have, when we read in the papers and we hear a former governor, a senator is being locked up for stealing from the coffers of their state over 7 billion. It should worry us. Yes. When people that are supposed to represent us steal from us, it should worry us. Don't give them chieftaincy titles. Don't give them awards and put them on the front. Yes. So because what it means is that there will be no trauma centers. There will be no schools for your children. There will be no good roads. There will be no electricity. And all that your money, they'll take their children abroad and they'll go to school there, they'll get medical attention there, and then you'll be left here struggling and having TV conversations with people trying to explain what has already happened.
This is from
Andrew. Please take your representatives.
In Stratham, he says, what is Dr. Oladipo saying? Is it, if there was a local disaster, would his hospital do nothing? And that's the question. Hospitals, if you call yourself, you know there are two names you can give your hospital. One is clinic, and the other one is hospital.
Yes.
So if your hospital is a clinic, please don't call it hospital.
Yes, let's know.
Just call it clinic. So we know that this one is only for my back is paining me.
Malaria.
Malaria.
Nigeria, that we don't have enough hospitals.
Even at that, you know that I watch American movies, and even if a hospital is not equipped to handle the very major surgeries, there's what they call stabilization. They will stabilize you a bit, prep you, and now take you to the right hospital that is equipped to handle it.
Even a vet, as I said, I don't want us to play judge and jury on this one. We have to run a white. I get your point. I get your point.
Because in England, there are many clinics.
Okay,
go to one center, they don't call them hospitals.
I get your point.
The best doctors are there. They are all called clinics.
Yes, yeah.
The hospitals are called hospitals.
Okay, point taken.
We need to label properly.
We have to run off. And I think it's important that our hearts go out to the family of Moradeun. This is a loss, a terrible loss to the family. And we only pray that God would only give them the strength and fortitude to bear this great loss. And to the Nigerians, Nigeria, obviously, we have a lot of work to do in our health sector. And that's why I'm so happy that Mariam ended with that part, that when your leaders steal away our money, these are the kind of repercussions of this. That's all we can take on this show. I mean, I only pray that her soul rest in peace and we can find some kind of way to bear this loss as a nation. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.